welcome to my channel. I figured the best place to start would be where to start. But first, before we go into all of that, there are a few important things that I would like to remind you of as an artist. One, practice, practice, practice. You will hear this everywhere. It is just one of those facts. There's no quick cheat to it. The more you practice, the better you get. And when you find a medium you like, you go ahead and you practice it some more. When trying a new technique or trying to draw a cup or a new object, do it at least 100 times before moving on to the next. Give yourself the chance to get the hang of it. I mean, great artists are great because of the amount of time they have put into it. So, 2, you must remember that there will always be somebody better than you, but there'll always be someone worse than you. You will never be the worst artist. There will always be someone worse than you. You will also never be the best artist. So please do not compare yourself to someone who's got hundreds of hours of art, years of art behind their name. Rather let it inspire you to put in the extra hours yourself. It comes back to practice, practice, practice. And then finally, number 3, don't just restrict yourself to one type of medium. Now, my favorite medium is acrylic and I love pencil, but I give myself a break every now and then for my projects and just do something random with a medium I have no idea what to do with. And you will be amazed at the amount of creativity and the different perspective you have looking at a project you are probably busy with. It is also amazing to get out of those artist locks. You will still get those. They're absolutely horrible and they can sometimes last months and years. But trying out a new medium just kicks it right back up. Right, with that being said, let's get to it. Now, when most people hear the word art, they think of a painting in a gallery. But art is so much more diverse than that. It varies from photography, graphic design, dancing, digital art, fashion, performance art, drawing, painting, sculpting, crafting, even some unconventional mediums. It is a sin to just subjectify art as just one picture in a frame. Guys, we are also in an era where information is so readily available and streaming in at an alarming pace. You can literally YouTube or Google anything and there will be photos, information, how-to videos, and even beginning to end hyperlapse videos. Now, this is absolutely amazing, but there are so many options and so much information to take in that it can become extremely overwhelming. Stop. No wonder people are getting lost and confused in this process. No, you end up watching so many other people do art that you don't actually do any art yourself. So before you go and watch any of those tutorial or how-to videos, let's just see what you have at home and do a bit of a practice round. Now, any tutorial for beginners that you are going to watch is going to look easy and simple. Remember, the person giving the tutorial, like myself, has years of experience in this already. You might not. So we need to get your body, your wrists, your hand. We need to get you ready to do the physical activities that you will require to create art. So don't spend any money right now. We're going to use whatever is around your home. We will worry about product once you decide, okay, great, I think I want to definitely do pencil. Now you can search pencil tutorials and they will tell you what pencil to use, what paper is best, what brand is their favorite. You can then go into that a little bit later on. But let's first get your eyes and your hands and your wrists and your body trained to make these tutorials easier on you. So let's see what you most likely have to work with. If I had to guess, it would be a pen or a pencil. Then of course, color pencil, maybe some kiddies water paint, crayon, or leftover paint from a friend, or watercolor pencil. As for paper, I would not worry if you don't have a sketch pad or book, but if you do, that's great, good for you. But you can use printer paper, writing pads, brown paper bags, notebooks. Please don't let the lack of products intimidate, restrict, or hold you back. We're going to start with basic shading, and then we're going to move on to color mixing. Now, don't be mistaken, this ain't no tutorial, but this is just basic practice to get you ready to do those beginner tutorials. Now, I am going to have a few suggestions in the description below that I recommend you go view or search for or look at before going into the beginner tutorials. So be on the lookout for those on my channel as well. So you definitely want to subscribe so you're not left behind on any of that. Plus, life gets very busy, so you want to ring that notification bell. Right, if you are using a pencil, the type of pencil will play a big role. HB pencil is the most common. Now, a pencil marked with H it's hard. It is used for very light work, so no matter how hard you press, it's going to remain light. That is what the H stands for. B is a softer pencil, but it is also a lot darker. So no matter how soft you try and work with it, it is not going to be as light as you want it to. Then HB is a combination of both. This is the one that most kids use in school. Then, how you hold your pencil is up to you. I've seen amazing artists hold their tools in the most awkward ways. Where you hold it does make a difference. So the closer to the tip you hold your pencil, the more accurate and darker and smaller and defined lines you can make, the more pressure you can add. The further away and the lighter you hold your pencil, the lighter your lines, the larger your movements, the softer your lines, and the less pressure there will be. Remember, you're not wrestling with your pencil, it's not going to run away, so you don't want to hold it hard, like you're trying to suffocate it. Just hold it freely in your hand. Pressure, pressure, pressure. How much pressure you apply on that pencil, on the tip, on the paper, is going to determine how dark or light it's going to be. So obviously, the harder you press, the darker the line is going to be. The trick is not to press it so hard as to create a welt or an indentation or a scar on the paper. It will make erasing your errors very difficult, and certain techniques you won't be able to achieve if you pressing holes through the paper. Right, so let's get that hand working and practicing. Basically, when it comes down to shading, there's not really much difference in technique with pen or pencil. You get the same etching, cross-hatching, soft shading, dotting that you can use in pen or pencil. The only difference is that pen is much more difficult to erase. So be sure to map out your lines in pencil before committing to pen if pen is your medium. Now, there are various tried and practiced existing techniques like the ones I have mentioned. So I have done a few examples both in pen and pencil. Now, you can even develop or create your own technique. At the end of the day, as long as when you step back from your paper, you can see the transition from light to dark to light or the other way around. It doesn't matter how you really do it as long as you get the visual effect. We need to force your brain to get creative and your body to get used to the pressure, speed, and movement required to get that effect. Now, you're going to have to practice this until you are confident and comfortable with your preferred style of shading. Then you can look up tutorials in different shading techniques in pen or pencil to refine your shading skills. So that is going to make the tutorials that you watch much easier to follow if you've already practiced your hand. Remember, that is what it's about, practicing your hand and your eye. So please remember to be on the lookout for those in my channel too. So subscribe so you can easily access those and ring the notification bell so you can be notified when a new content arrives. Now, should you have a color medium, I'm going to suggest practicing basic color mixing. When you do a tutorial or go to a tutorial about the color wheel, you're going to learn so many new things about color, but we are not going to go into that right now. as we just want to get you to be able to follow the tutorials easier. So you've got prime colors, which is blue, red, and yellow. Then you've got a secondary color. This is green, orange, and purple. To make green, you need to mix blue and yellow. To make orange, you need to mix yellow and red. To make purple, you need to mix red and blue. Please note that purple can especially come out very dark, almost black, so you might need a bit of white to bring it out. Practice this, get the hang of it, and then practice a rainbow, going from blue to purple to red to orange to yellow to green and black back to blue. And then lastly, there is a color that does not nearly get enough credit, but it gets used more than you would imagine it would be, and that is brown. Now, brown is mixed by mixing a primary and a secondary color. It is a combination of red, green with a bit of yellow. Depending on how much red, green, or yellow you add, you'll end up either with a red brown, a green brown, or a yellow brown. Then obviously you can add white to that to end up getting your skin tones. Now go forth and practice. Once you feel comfortable and your hand is a bit more practiced, you can now easily go look for tutorials in your favorite form of color. Be on the lookout for those in my channel too. So you want to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Guys, remember, don't overwhelm yourself. Take it easy, take it one step at a time. Practice, practice, and practice some more. Once you are ready, I suggest you familiarize yourself with composition and perspective, and then as well as have a look at how to use the color wheel. Those will also pop up on my channel. So you definitely do want to subscribe and definitely do want to ring that notification bell. It will help you in all forms of art. Just do it anyway, and then I will see you Tuesday.